involved in before the Supreme Court?
It was, and I want to be clear, I was not the person, arguing the case, but I was at counsel table that day.
Thank you. Now recognize senators for 5 minutes of questioning. The first senator is Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ritz, I will tell you, I have been so disappointed as things have come through. Senator Hagerty and I gave you the benefit of the doubt for the U.S. Attorney, but we have heard from so many people in West Tennessee of their frustration with you. So when you look at this, how can criminal defendants that come before you as a judge think you're going to give them a fair shake? How can attorneys that expect their clients to be treated fairly in the courtroom expect that you're going to behave ethically and not discredit them, not discredit the attorneys?
Senator, in my career, 19 years, the only job I've had as a lawyer is to represent the interests of the United States and keep people safe in our state.
How about the people of Tennessee?
And we represent the people.
Because that should be a priority too. You referenced the previous allegation against you. The court never addressed that because the attorney withdrew from the case. Okay, let me ask you this. You hired a number 2, Reagan Taylor Fondren, who received a year of probation for prosecutorial misconduct, including unconstitutionally burying evidence and misleading the court. Why did you hire her, and what was the follow-on with that?
Senator, our first assistant United States attorney, I did not hire Ms. Fondren. She has been a dedicated public servant her whole career. I promoted her to be first assistant. As with all of my AUSAs, I am proud of the work that they do to uphold the rule of law and protect people.
Let's talk about the people of West Tennessee, because your primary duty as a U.S. attorney is to keep the people of West Tennessee safe. Memphis is more dangerous under your leadership, and it's a direct result of your lax policies of not prosecuting violent crime. We know about the Lobley case, and we know that he had been charged with 4 felonies, including unlawful possession. So the Shelby County DA has publicly stated that the Lobley case was accepted for federal prosecution. Is that accurate?
Senator,
yes or no?
9 days before the tragic killing of Officer McKinney, our office did accept that for potential federal prosecution.
Okay.
We were diligently investigating that case.
Let's talk about this. The prior U.S. attorney brought 100% of prosecutable gun cases. If you weren't in charge, Mr. Lobley would have been behind bars.
I want to say, Senator, if I may, I have no control over the state system. Mr. Lobley had been arrested in the state system and released on bond in the state.
Federal charges.
He was arrested.
Federal charges. You and the DA have a difference of opinion on this, because he says he was accepted for federal prosecution.
And referenced for our consideration, but we had not yet charged Mr. Lobley, Senator.
Okay, so you were not moving at the pace of your predecessor. Let me move on to sex offenders, because in May of last year you stated, and I quote, "Most convicted sex offenders who live and work in West Tennessee are productive members of the community." What would you say to the families whose children's lives have been ruined by sexual exploitation and abuse? And how do you think that they feel knowing that the chief law enforcement officer, their chief federal law enforcement officer, believes that these sex abusers are productive members of the community?
Senator, I don't believe I said that.
I'll provide you with the quote.
I'd be happy to respond in writing,
Yes.
but I can tell you, Senator, we have an
You made that quote. Let me move on, because if you'll respond in writing, I wanted to raise the issue we talked about previously, which is you removed the Tennessee flag from the U.S. Attorney's office after you were sworn in. And we have heard from several people that you did this. So I want to know, you told me it was because you thought the office was cluttered that you removed the flag. but you were there for the people of West Tennessee. You removed the Tennessee flag. So what did you do with it? Did you throw it in the trash? Did you put it in the closet? Why did you not see your appointment as having a duty to the people of West Tennessee?
As Chief Federal Law Enforcement Officer, Senator, I represent the United States and the Department of Justice. And we're talking about the conference room where we give press conferences and similar public statements. And I felt it was fundamentally...
Mr. Ritz, that doesn't fly. Mr. Chairman, I've got the sex abuse quote. I'll submit it for the record. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Ritz, you've been asked several questions but not given the chance to answer them. Would you like to respond to any of the questions raised by the senator?
I think, I can't remember which one I was not able to answer. At this time, I'm happy to move on.
All right. Senator Butler?
Thank you so much, Mr. Ritz, and congratulations
Thank
to
you, Senator.
for being nominated and appreciating your family and supporters. I know it takes all of us to make sure that we get to, that you're able to opportunity to get to that